Today, we are walking and talking with Birmingham City women's head coach Amy Merricks. After narrowly missing out on promotion on the final day of the championship season, she's ready to embrace the opportunities the new look WSL 2 will bring. In this conversation, we look back at last season, hear how pre-season is shaping up, and get insights into her vision for the campaign ahead. Well, Amy, welcome back. How's your off-season been so far?
Yeah, good. Nice to relax, decompress, spend time with family and friends and just take a step back. So yeah, lovely, thank you.
Typical British weather. We wanted to be outside. We're in the Dome at the moment. Just talk us through how important it has been to reset after the end of the season.
Yeah, it's so important. I mean, you're working relentlessly all the time. You're going game to game. And even in those breaks, players are then working internationally. So for them, it's a lot as well. So it's really important to take a step back now, review the season, reflect on what worked, where we need to improve and what the next plan, next strategy is. And it's constantly evolving here, as you can see. It's changing every day, every moment. So players, staff, infrastructure. So really exciting time and we're ready and raring to go again.
So take us back to this time last year, ahead of the season. What were the key things that you and the staff around you noted for recruitment, preparation going into last season?
It was all about being robust to compete for promotion and being WSL ready. So where we were at the start of last season compared to where we are now going into this season is literally two different worlds. We have a real infrastructure now in terms of staffing, the processes that we've put in place across the whole year. We're in a really good place. And then with the players, it was all about making sure we're WSL ready when we do take that step. So we made a lot of recruitment acquisitions around players that have either WSL potential or the experience of being in the WSL and are ready to perform at that stage. And bringing in those players has a real added effect on the players that were already here. So it helps them develop, speeds up their development process as well. So yeah, it was all about being WSL ready and being able to compete for promotion.
So let's go through those signings that you made obviously in the summer window. Simone McGill, talk about experience, she's got that in abundance. Rebecca McKenna as well, her progress through the ranks and up through the leagues has been really impressive. Lee Gumin, who as well, tons of experience, and Ava Baker, who of course has just qualified with England for next year's Under-20 World Cup in Poland. Those signings, you've already said, elevate the squad. As individuals, what do they bring?
Yeah, a really good balance, and that balance is important in a squad composition. We need experience. So you touched on Simone, Lee. Simone also a captain. Lee's been captain career at the moment as well. They have experience in WSL. They know what it takes, but equally balancing that off with the young potential. Rebecca McKenna, so much ahead of her. Ava Baker, also so much ahead of her. So that balance critical to ensure that we're ready to compete now, but also in the future.
Absolutely. So the start of the season started off so well, up to the first international break, top of the league. How important was it for you to get off on a really good front foot?
So important. We wanted to make a statement of intent, and maybe we did that too well in the first game, but a fantastic performance, and we were ruthless with our approach that day. For me, we started well. We were top of the league, like you said, but there were some challenging spells. Bristol and Durham challenged us and we dropped a few points in those moments. So we learnt a lot, and given the fact that we had so many new faces that we were integrating, we were really pleased to be in the position we were in that first break.
Looking at that Durham game in particular, Christy Harrison-Murray getting her 100th appearance for the club. She's such an integral part of what you guys do, and the smile already on your face when I mention her name. Just how important is she to you as an individual and also as a player?
Yeah, I mean, so important. First of all, what an incredible person. She's been at the club a long time. She's an absolute stalwart of this club. Plays a critical role for me. It's that bridge between the players and the staff. Her values align with mine, but most importantly with the club's. She knows what it means to be Blues. She wears her heart on her sleeve. She plays with that passion, and she trains as an ultimate professional absolutely every day. She's the most consistent person we have. So yeah, really important part of what we're doing, but so pleased that she was able to celebrate that occasion as well with a goal and a true Christie goal. I don't know how she rises that high to make that header, but yeah, a fantastic person and player. So really important in terms of where we're going now.
And it's not just, of course, the players, it's the staff as well. You had a change of your backroom staff with Emily leaving, Jay coming in, who of course brings so much experience from Scottish football. How have her and Chelsea set up a support network around you and the players?
Yeah, critical again. The same process that we take for players. This is an ambitious club. We need people that are invested in where we are going and driving the club forwards, but ambitious and driven themselves. They both bring incredibly different experiences. Scotland, Australia leagues, top leagues. So for me, I want to pull on those experiences. We collaborate all the time. People are here for a reason. That's not just the technical staff, that's the backroom staff. I'm really fortunate to be surrounded by great people. So for me, I want to pull on that, more options, better decisions. So we collaborate every day. They lead in their areas as well. And like I said, we are in far better and stronger position going into this season than we ever have been.
Let's skip forward and back a little bit to the January transfer window and the names you brought in on deadline day. It was a huge deadline day and one that really, I think, sparked the imagination of Blues fans on the women's side, bringing in Emily Van Egmond, who, of course, such a huge name. You've already mentioned Australia. And Shannon Cook as well, a bright star, bringing her in on loan, and we saw what she could do in the league. How important were those two for you going into the end of the season and the run-in?
Yeah, look, I've spoken about the ambition of the club. It's so important that we never settle in any transfer window. We have to continuously evolve. You know, where we want to be in terms of WSL Champions League, that is a massive jump. So we're doing the same now. That January window, we'd suffered a few injuries as well. So we wanted to replace the depth that we had then missed. So Shannon and Emily brought with them winning mentality, both again leadership qualities. They contributed significantly in the second half. So did AD, Adriana Franch. So really important, not just for the evolution of the squad and where we want to go, but also that moment right then to continue pushing for promotion.
So we've come inside, out of the rain. It's stunning, the Performance Centre here. How good is it to be included in this as the women's team?
Oh, so brilliant. You know, it's changed completely since my first day here, which I think we were in porter cabins at the top, and I mean now look at it, and it keeps just getting better and better, which shows the investment and the commitment. I think we've got absolutely one of the best facilities in the country in this league, if not pushing on the top league. So yeah, the players love it, we love it. It gives us everything we need to make sure we are a high performing environment. So there's no excuses. Really, players come in, they have to deliver, we have to deliver, and that's what we want. And
fans love that attitude.
Yeah.
Let's go through and have a bit more of a look around. So we'll continue to reflect a little bit on, of course, last season. We mentioned, of course, the January window. It wasn't until April when your lead was relinquished, and that was with London City winning their game in hand. Yeah. It led to, for the neutral, an incredible run-in, and something that really drew a lot of eyes and attention onto the league. Put us in your shoes. What was it like as the manager having to deal with all that pressure?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, pressure is a privilege. You can't be at a club like Birmingham City and not expect to deal with pressure, and that's where we want to be. It's about winning, it's about competing for promotions, titles. Obviously it swung, didn't it, at that moment. Gutting for us, but we knew it was still all to play for. So we really honed in on our philosophy of taking it one game at a time. Taking control of our performances. We knew and we were confident in our ability that if we performed, we had every opportunity. There was a key moment, certainly for me, and that was in that Durham game. Going from 1-0 behind and then us being able to draw that back and win that game, but also we performed so well that day. For me was a real standout point, not just because of the result and the performance, and it kept us in the fight, but that was the first time in 2 years we'd come back from behind to win a game, which showed a real shift in terms of the culture, the mentality of the players. And I was like, we are all in here. We still have every opportunity. And I think the players sensed it. The fans sensed it on that day. The celebrations were real. So we were really laser focused, but it was certainly one game at a time.
When you speak, it's incredible because the passion that you deliver these words with, for the players as well, that must have been so important, having someone at the front of the helm of the ship who is delivering to them, even though this time is so full of pressure, it's so nervy, that they can do it and you can get through it. Did anyone ever come up to you afterwards and say just how important your leadership was through that?
No, look, I reflect on myself. You know, for me, I want to be the best. I want this club to be the best. I want the players to be the best. Like, we're not just showcasing this club, we're showcasing women's football.
Yeah.
And that's true part of my philosophy. And I'm very open to feedback. And I always ask the players, well, what do you think? Where are we going next? It's about empowering them having a voice. So I just want to keep getting better. I want the team to keep getting better. I want this club to keep getting better. This club should be at the top. So that's what we're pushing for.
And I think, having spoken to some of the players during that time, they all seemed so level-headed, and of course the role you did so instrumental in that. Take us through to the final game. It was all building up to that. All the reports, of course it being on Sky as well, for the first time that a championship game had been shown on Sky. You've spoken already about showcasing the women's game. How much pride was there in you that regardless of the result, you've already broken new ground as a club?
Yeah. I mean, in that moment, that day, we were zoned in on that performance and that game. So having them watch the game back and felt it all again, I remember standing there in, I think it was the 85th minute, and we'd gone 2-2. And the fans started singing "Keep Right On." And wow, the feeling in that moment was incredible. I've been in games, involved in games with bigger crowds, but the feeling that the fans gave us in that moment, and I think it really spurred the players on to go and have extra. I think we were all saved. There was another 5 minutes, we probably would have done it. And I think they will confess that as well. So despite the result, the occasion, and that's the first time we have been in that position on the last day, shows the progress that we are making. Now it's about for us going one step further. This is about performing to win. That is it. So we're really driven. It's given us another lease of life, but the progression is really real, and that day go down as a special day no matter what.
Of course, that game as well brought around the end of Louise Quinn's career, announcing her retirement, of course, in the run-in to that final game. I think anyone around the game knows how much of a legend she has been, and one that maybe doesn't always get her flowers. Just how important as a player and as an individual has she been for you and the club?
Yeah, absolutely. What a person. First and foremost, incredibly selfless, a real leader. She was obviously club captain, she's been at the club a long time, and she's driven a lot of change here with the players in terms of demanding standards so that they can perform. She gave a lot through the season, and we felt it hard when she got injured in that Southampton away game as well, actually. So we're going to miss her leadership both on and off the pitch. She's had an incredible career. Unfortunately, she gets some not much well-deserved family time now with a new baby boy, but I'm sure we'll see her around and still playing a part in what we're doing.
Absolutely. Let's park last season, look ahead to the next. You've already spoken and alluded to it. What do you expect from the WSL 2 next season? And of course, pending confirmation from the league, it will bring some big changes this year. Yeah,
big changes, lots more promotion spots, but we're zoned in on one thing and one thing only. We know what we want to do. We need to be relentless. It's going to be competitive. It is every year. I'm sure everyone's going to go up a notch. Hence why it's important that we keep evolving the team. It's going to be a much changed side given the amount of changes that we've had and the players that have now left us. So we're working really hard behind the scenes to make sure we put together an exciting and competitive team. And like I said, we know exactly what we want to do and what we want to achieve, and we're really excited, itching and raring to go.
I can see the smile on your face when you talk about that. As a manager, this must be the good time, right? Getting to go and scout players, or I'm sure you're getting the reports and then going and looking yourself. What's it like as a manager when you're picking the team for next season and what will be a huge season for the Blues?
Huge season, and there's lots to consider. We embedded some really good foundations in the way that we want to play, and we have a real identity now. We shifted maybe the perception of Blues women. You know, we finished the previous season 5th, then we went on the best, away record, defensive record, all of these things, competed right until the last day. So we really shifted that perception. People want to come and be a part of Birmingham City. I mean, look at this, it's incredible. So, yeah, it's exciting. We get to look at who are the individuals that are going to make the difference to the team. We have to get the right characters, and we want to evolve the style that we've had. We need to be more dynamic, we need to be ruthless and relentless in our approach. So that all comes into play, and it is a real exciting time of the year, isn't it, in terms of building what is going to be showcased to everyone in a few months' time.
Well, I mean, we've spoken a lot about the ambition of the club, as you as an individual, as the team. How much has the ownership bought into that and really helped you guys? It seems wherever you look, the branding's changed. There's a new feel about the training ground here. How important have they been to you?
So important. A large part of the reason why I came to the club as well, and probably the same for a lot of the players and other staff. When I heard about the ambition and the intent for the whole club, the women included in that, and what that looks like, the sports quarter, what that's going to look like in several years' time, it was a no-brainer. Everyone wants to be a part of that and the direction it's moving in. And now for me, it's about working relentlessly every day to push the club forwards to where it should be. But an incredible amount of investment, support, but most importantly, not just in terms of putting in players or whatever that looks like, is the infrastructure, the ability for us to perform and put the processes in place. Every day, you know, Tom's asking Jeremy, Hope, what do we need? How do we get better? And that for us is gold dust in terms of making sure that when we get to WSL, we can make that sustainable and push on.
I think one thing that really stood out to me that Tom said was when the under-21s won the cup, and he was like, this is the first bit of silverware that the club has won. And he had the under-21 team there, the women's team, who don't always get their spotlight. And he really brought them up. As you as the manager, how much pride and real alignment did you feel in that moment?
So much pride, and what an achievement from our under-21 side. And it really shows that we're trying to do things the right way.
Yeah.
It's not just all about the first team. This is about the pathway.
Yeah.
It's about the homegrown talent. And hopefully people can see that by the fact that we've awarded Poppy Irvine with a contract. We really want that homegrown talent coming through. So the support that we have and the infrastructure that we have for the first team and the work that's been done there with the staffing is equally as important with the pathway. And we really want them to come on the journey with us. You know, we want Birmingham City players playing in the first team in years and years to come.
And how important will they be during pre-season, where you get an opportunity to look at all the squads? Talk us through how pre-season firstly looks for you and how you see the under-21 squads and of course the senior squads as well, all mixed into that.
Yeah, a really important part of the year because you get to do an incredible block of work that sets you up. So the intent and the application and the design of that is critical for success. Like I said, we're in the best position we have ever been going into a season this year. You know, we have a head of performance now as well. So in terms of pushing us to make sure we are absolutely WSL ready, we are back fitter, faster, stronger. We evolve our tactics and our technical ability with the players that we have. And then we drip that down the pathway. We want every team in the club to look like and feel like a Blues team. So the fact that that winning mentality is starting to come through is really good. The crux of the matter is you can't take anything for granted. And I'm a big believer in earning the right. So pre-season it starts, we earn the right with the work that we put in day to day.
Best of luck. One last question, and that is to the 8,000 fans that turned out at St Andrews at Knighthead Park on the final day, and also those who watched on from home on Sky. What is your message to them for the support last season, but also going into this season?
Firstly, thank you so much, and especially also the fans that travelled even to all those away games. We saw and felt you every step of the way. We're going to need you again. But what we want to do is make sure we showcase an even better product that makes you even more excited to come back. It's going to be an exciting season. Like I said, we're approaching it with real relentlessness and intent to move forwards, and can't wait to see you all come on a journey with us.
I'm absolutely buzzing. I can't wait to see what you do next season. Congratulations on everything you've achieved so far and best of luck for next season.
Thank you.